Welcome to Courtenay Sport and our Hyundai i30N. We've had this car for a little while and we've already mapped it to stage 1. Stage 1 is a completely standard car, so no other modifications on it at all, so it's just purely ECU calibration. Moving forward from here, we're looking at what parts of the exhaust give the best power gains. So we're going to start with the flex pipe and then we'll put it back on the dyno and run it again, see exactly what gain that part is given in isolation along with the stage 1 map. Then it will come back in here and we'll look at the GPF delete and that will be swapped out and once more back on the dyno for testing and see what gains that part is given. Okay, we're under the i30 now and here we have the GPF. GPF stands for gasoline particulate filter and that's what this is. This is one of the bits we're going to be changing, but first we're going to change the flex pipe and that's tucked right the way up in here. Here we have a pair of flex pipes. This one is the original Hyundai unit. Now it's quite small in diameter for a car that produces 271 horsepower, 276 PS. At this point here it's 60mm and this point it's about 64mm. Whereas this pipe, which is beautifully TIG welded part, which is made locally for us by RPM Performance, this is 76mm right the way through. Now that equates to a 27% increase in area. Here you can see with the caliper across it, that's it at 76mm, and now you can visually see the difference between the 60 and the 70 and how much of an increase in size that is. Let's take a look at the graph. You can see we originally benchmarked the car at 300 horsepower, and that 300 horsepower is a standard car just with a remap. We've changed the flex pipe and the power peak to peak has gone up to 305 horsepower. Now looking at the two curves together on the graph, you can see from about 3.7 the red line starts to pull away from the blue line. Not by much, I mean 2 or 3 horsepower all the way through here, but then by the time we get to 5,000 RPM we have 5 horsepower. At 5,200 RPM we have 5 horsepower. At 5,400 RPM we have 7 horsepower. 5.6, 7 horsepower again. 5.8, 4 horsepower. 6,000, 4 horsepower. And 6.2, 4 horsepower. Actually just jumping up to 5 horsepower there at 6.2. And then so on right the way through to the rev limiter. Now that's quite a reasonable gain considering all we've done is change the flex pipe, and that's essentially increasing the bore size from 60mm to 76mm. So good gains overall, and certainly well worthwhile as a first port of call for de-restricting the exhaust system. In the next video we'll be changing the GPF, so we'll see what that does for the car in that video.